Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox and Clem back for another Andor / Last of Us recap this week. Tomorrow we will have a Thunderbolts recap and review for you as well. We've both seen the movie. I mean, we could kind of start there. I feel like that's a fun place to start. Spoiler-free thoughts.
Of course.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. And we'll get into the really good, great. We'll get into all of that on the Thunderbolts podcast. But Clem, we left the theater pretty happy.
You said solid. And I think that is the best way to describe it. I saw as a tweet, I think you had very good and something else. And I'm like, Bob, you're naturally trailing it up, which is fine. Again, some people grade on curves, some people curve it. Yeah, I think the raw emotion came out, and then Bob Foxed it up to very good. And I do think it is definitely not bad, definitely better than above average. Solid is, I think, the perfect one. That's what I put as my spoiler-free review headline. I go, Thunderbolts was solid. So I like the way you put that. I think the chemistry between the actors and the characters was great. I think the people with the reviews were pretty spot on with it being a good movie. I do think that maybe I went in a little too hyped, even though I told myself not to, because we were so low when it got announced to where we were when it actually came out and released. But and then the post-credit scenes were definitely, at least one of them was, I think, overhyped, where they're saying it's like the biggest, best scene in MCU history.
The most important scene in the history of comic book movies. You're not getting that. But, like, it is a good post-credits. Like, I like the post-credits in this. So it's just the expectations thing. Everyone has to, like, manage expectations with the movie, because when you see it's number 2 on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like Black Panther, Thunderbolts, Endgame in terms of Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah. I did not see that. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like you see that, and Thunderbolts is like a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes. People are like, this must be one of the best Marvel movies ever. And it's not that. I don't know if anyone's going to leave Thunderbolts going, that was one of the best Marvel movies ever. I think you could make a real argument it's one of the best since Endgame, though. I think you could, if you wanted to make the argument, you could say it's the best since Endgame. I would still put Guardians above it, Guardians 3. I would put Deadpool and Wolverine above it, and the 2 Spider-Man movies post-Endgame. Everything outside of that, I think this is better than. So I was really happy with it. Like you said, I maybe Bob Foxed it up with my adjectives, but like I told you, I love adjectives so much I can't pick a favorite. I just like to use a bunch of them.
I saw the rap. They said this was the first Marvel movie in years that didn't feel like an absolute hack job. And it's like, when we put it like that,
honestly, like it sounds bad to say, because it's like we've liked a lot of the movies that are quote unquote hack jobs or whatever, but you watch this and you watch Captain America Brave New World, you leave that one, you go, okay, that was reshoots. They maybe rewrote that. You had to know this from the Incredible Hulk. This is just a movie. It's very straightforward, very simple plot, easy to follow, likable characters. Like you said, great chemistry with the team. You want to see the team again after this. It did everything it needed to be. This needed to be just a little spark for Marvel theatrically. And you could say Daredevil Born Again was a little spark. I actually felt this was on a similar quality level to Daredevil Born Again, where I would go, okay, that show wasn't something I've never seen before. It didn't reinvent the wheel, but I was like, that's just what I wanted out of that show. And this is what I wanted out of Thunderbolts.
It feels like it's a winning streak. It's not a, 10-1 or we'll go back to the football analogy. It's not like 48-3 Patriots 2007 just murdering teams left and right. It's like 1-3, 1-6. You know what? I'm happy we won, and I feel good going into the next week, or in this case, the next release. And I would say, obviously, Brave New World was not that, but I think Born Again was that. I think Thunderbolts was that, and I'm hoping like Fantastic Four is the 21-point win that we're hoping for. And I do think a lot of people keep saying the Endgame thing, best movie since Endgame, you hear that, or the best Marvel project. It's like, guys, Guardians 3 was fucking awesome. We have to just remember that. It does get lost in the mix. Listen, I'm a Guardians guy. It's a sequel. It's a part 3 at that. It's the last of the series. And it's almost Guardians, they almost exist in their own universe, even though the characters are big now to the whole fabric of the MCU. You do definitely forget them. And I'm going to go back to your airplane analogy. This is, I was trying to figure out where in the airplane this is. We're definitely leveled out. I think Daredevil has now they're giving out snacks. We're like, oh, even Daredevil's coming up good. And I don't know if you do this. I started doing this probably. I had a really bad turbulence experience at the end of a Chicago trip last year. It's called like the turbulence maps. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
You can look up your flight and they'll tell you what the turbulence should be during that flight based on like I guess wind patterns or whatever else. And like this was one where I was like, you're gonna have moderate, like a yellow amount of turbulence, like not great. That's how I think we felt when Thunderbolts got announced. And you just go through it and you're like, oh, wait, we're past Detroit. We're good right now. Like, that's kind of what this felt like. It's like even the turbulence part, the rough parts of the flight are even smooth. So that's kind of how I feel. I feel like we're in a good place in the MCU, famous last words. But I feel very good about it after Thunderbolts.
Well, I mean, talking turbulence a little bit, I thought you were going to maybe go in a different direction there because I went and saw Thunderbolts twice now. I saw it with you on Monday night, and then I took Lady Fox to see it last night in 4DX. Shout out Liam Crowley from Screen Rant, invited me to the screening, and we might get Liam on the podcast next week. We talked about that. Liam's a great guy. I love Liam, so we're going to get him on for sure, probably next week. And he said, you want to come to this 4DX screening? I said, sure, but the only 4DX experience I had before this was when we went and saw Avengers Endgame in 4DX, and we didn't love it. It was like, I remember that the chair kept leaning forward during that screening, and I kept having to scoot back up. I was like, I need a seatbelt or something. Like it was just a weird experience. I remember getting punched in the back during the Captain America versus Captain America fight and being like, this hurts. This was a better experience than that. I'll say that. It was cool. I told you when bullets are flying past the screen, they kind of hit you with little like bursts of wind behind your ears. So it almost feels like bullets are whipping past you. When you're in a car that's not like in a chase or exploding or anything, flipping, anything like that. When you're just driving in a car, the chair kind of does have like a natural bounce where it makes it feel like you're actually on a car ride. But there's action scenes and moments and explosions and bang, bang, boom, and Thunderbolts. That was herking and jerking me around like you wouldn't believe. I might need a chiropractor after that because there are certain things where it was like, boom, crash land or something. And then you feel the shock wave in your seat. It's like, whoa. I had to pop a Dramamine before the show. That's how old I'm getting. We were like 4DX Dramamine time.
That's not good. That's not good for Bob Fox in terms of just, I mean, you are an old soul, but we know what happened on the Guardians ride, obviously, after the Star Wars. And then the 4DX, like, I went to Endgame, left it, and was like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that again. And I was like, when you went, I'm like, I wonder in the last 5 or so years, like, how much everything's improved. Sounds like not really enough to make it.
A little bit. The big improvement is you now have a footrest. So you don't feel like you're sliding out of your chair. Your feet are planted, and that's actually big. And there's a little fucking, like, wire by your feet. So every now and then, if something's crawling or you got some wire fucking goes like that, hits your ankles, and you're like, ugh.
I like
but yeah, you'll hear a lot more about Thunderbolts tomorrow on the podcast. So make sure to come back, make sure to update those podcast feeds. As soon as one showing is out, I'll make sure to upload the thing. So when you guys are coming back, when you're coming out of the theater, you can listen to us on the way home. Did
you do the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience movie or whatever? I don't know if it was at Universal, and they shrunk the mice and you feel the mice by your feet. That always skeeves me.
It's got to be the same thing. I was thinking it's the same technology because I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the Muppets, that crazy, the 3D 4D extravaganza, whatever, because it hits you with the spray, the little water sprays and stuff. It's fun. It's honestly, it's something I would never seek out. I would never be like, let's go see this in 4D, but it is fun to experience at least once.
Yeah, I definitely would experience it once. And I do think it could work if they get it. Maybe they trim some stuff back and they think of some new experiences from the other side. But yeah, it sounds like we're kind of in the same spot as we were with Endgame.
Now, basement keeping real quick before we get into the shows that we're going to recap. The 24-hour May the 4th stream is quickly approaching. Sunday at 11 a.m. I am going live on every My Mom's Basement or personal channel that I have. And we're talking about Star Wars for 24 hours. A ton of stuff planned. Video games planned. Guests planned. Interviews planned. I'm even making breakfast the next morning. What do you think of that? A little Darth Vader waffle maker in the middle of the night? What are you going to do in the middle of the night to pass time? Oh, I don't know. How about a 1,000-piece Lego set of Baby Yo? What do you think of that? 1,048 pieces. Plenty more planned. That'll be surprises for the stream. I've been filming stuff all week. Me and Clem went and filmed something in Central Park this week. It's going to be exciting. I really hope people tune in. I don't want to be live to 7 people for 24 hours. So please, if you've got time on Sunday, if you're getting in the Star Wars spirit, tune into the My Mom's Basement live stream.
And if you don't have time, but you have a computer, you have a phone, you have an iPad that you're not using, just go to the stream, leave it on, let it run, give us the views,
do that, please. I'm begging you.
That's how rebellions start, right? It's like doing stuff like that. We are the rebels of Barstool. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, come on, we're like the Empire team. We're ragtag.
Yeah,
we're a ragtag
of media. How about Barstool's the rebels of media? Something like that. I don't know. That kind of fits. Kind of works out. Like
obviously, like part of my take is like the Luke Skywalker. Like we have big hitters in this fucking rebellion, but we
might be Biggs Darklighter, but Biggs Darklighter had he played a factor in the Battle of Yavin.
And you can call me Porkins. I'll be Porkins. We have to go to we have to shout out the bracket where we had the best Star Wars name bracket with me, you, Ken Jack, obviously, Nick Tarani, KB, and Mook. And a lot of laughs, a lot of good nerd talk. That, I believe, comes out tomorrow.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so check that out as soon as it comes out because there's a lot of laughs, a lot of nerdy stuff.
It was really funny, yeah. And then let's tell everyone about one of our favorite sponsors here in the basement. That is Game Time. You know, they don't make it easy to go to a concert nowadays. The tickets are hard to get. You got to sign up for the pre-sale or get in the queue. And then by the time you get through, the best seats are already taken. Game Time is making that easier for everyone because going to a concert or a show, it should be about the show itself, not the process to get tickets, not the virtual line. Lucky for us, we always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, and they make getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app go down closer it gets to showtime. Obviously, we've got playoffs going on, NHL, NBA. You've got Yankees baseball, Yankees Mets. A lot of fun stuff coming up this summer festival-wise. I saw Willie Nelson just announced his Outlaw Country Festival with Sheryl Crow, Bob Dylan. Willie Nelson, happy birthday this week as well, 92 years old. Go see Willie Nelson this year. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code MMB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code MMB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. All right, Clem, you want to get into The Last of Us this week? Obviously, a big Fallout episode this week. I didn't know what to expect going in. I thought it was a good episode, but it was just that. It was Fallout. It was a little bit of a chiller episode, obviously, a much chiller episode than last week.
Some would say a filler episode. Rhymes with chiller. Some would say setup episode. Some would say Fallout episode. Listen, we're not gonna hate. We're just gonna. I think my wife actually said to Sienna when the credits rolled, she goes, "And Sienna, that is what we call a filler episode." Or she might have said setup episode. I don't remember. Maybe even Fallout. It was one of the three. And listen, I thought we would get the emotional. I didn't know if it would be a full blown. We're gonna do a full emotional episode here and really harp on it. First of all, sounds like they don't do that in the game. It kind of is like, all right, we're back on the fucking mission here. We got to do what we got to do. But at the same point, it's like, I didn't realize this. Did you realize that this season is 7 episodes total?
Oh, no. 7 sounds like there might be a secret 8th.
Oh, now we're now you. When I left, you were the you are the Darth Vader of this group.
No, I didn't know that was 7. So we're kind of, this was 3, right? We're kind of halfway through, and we're now exactly halfway through Andor. This is kind of the midway episode. How did you feel about the 3-month time jump? Obviously, you get like Tommy walking in and seeing the body, and that's super sad. But the 3-month time jump made me feel a little bit like I did it when I was watching The Last Jedi, actually. And they go to break the news. They go to break the news to Luke that Han is dead. He's like, "Where's Han?" And then it cuts away, and you don't get to see them telling Luke and Luke taking that in that Han Solo's died. That's actually one of my little nitpicks about The Last Jedi. Is I would have liked to see that from Luke. I kind of would have liked to see more of the immediate funerals, and because it's not just Joel. You know, they mentioned they had to bury a bunch of the people from the battle. I think I would have liked to see that, even if the game didn't go into that. I don't know.
I can't believe you just brought this fucking Last Jedi thing. I didn't even think of that. I hated that
but
movie
it's
so
similar,
much.
right?
The whole thing, like now I'm like mad about something in Last Jedi I hadn't even thought of. Like him and Han were fucking boys.
Yeah.
Does he ever react to anything? I blocked that movie from my memory. I try not to actually talk about it with people. You're the one who always keeps bringing. Whatever. We're going to bury that back deep inside Last Jedi. So I agree with you. I wanted a little more. Heavy Spoilers did a breakdown, and he said like they don't really do that in this world because there has been so much loss for so long. It's like you can't keep mourning the dead, or else it's just you're just picking the fucking. It's not even a scab; it's like a scar, and then you're just bleeding out every single time. So I understand that side of it, but I was thinking the same. It makes sense when I heard it like that. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. They wouldn't do it. Again, it's like what we want versus what the show gives us.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. The Tommy thing, that's fucking tough. It's like the morgue, I guess. It's like a fucking like makeshift morgue. And the Watch has been the character of the show, and just seeing it there, it fucking hammered it home. Like Thrones, you would always get the death, and then you would usually get the fallout from the death like the next episode, right? And that fucking just brings up all those feelings that you had a Sunday before, and that's what I felt like. I have a weekly thing I want to do on this show for Last of Us.
Okay.
What's your I wish death upon Abby scale 1 to 10? After
still a 10. I don't think this brought anything down for me. I think I'm still at the same level. Maybe a 9. Let's say a 9 because maybe it could leave room for it to go up if she does something even more hateable. But this didn't. I wasn't like, all right, now I see where I see where Abby's coming from. I do. But I'm still fucking pissed. It's Pedro Pascal. It's not just Joel. It's Pedro Pascal. And his grave, when we see his grave, he was 41 when he died. He was a rough-looking 41.
Yeah. That's a year on me. God damn. But for the record, my Abby death scale is 100 million right now. It's been 100 million since the fucking. I don't even know, once the club made its way through his neck, I was like 100 million, and we have stayed consistently there, even though she's barely even mentioned, and we definitely do not see her there. And then the Watch just gets me, man. That fucking did you notice that they updated the opening?
Yeah, I know. I didn't notice it in real time, but I saw the tweet about it where it's the 2 silhouettes and now it's just the one. That's fucking sad. It's sad. Like now the show, it just doesn't have him. It's so like weird because I know video game people have been dealing with this for years. Like they know the storyline. They've been waiting for it, but it feels like we were robbed of something. It feels like I'm in denial still. I'm in this stage of denial.
This is a very weird niche reference, but it's like when you hear about El Nino being like the cause of weather and it's affecting everything. And you're like, El Nino, that was like, I mean, you're probably before you were born, they were talking about El Nino. And like, this is video game people have been upset about Joel dying. And now it's like coming back up with all his viewers are like, fucking Joel's just gone, man. And they're like, yeah, this has been going on forever, man. Like, this is new to us, though, man. There's a lot of hurt here. A lot of hurt.
I gotta watch like the trailer for Fantastic Four after every episode, just to be like, he's all right. He's all right. He's just in a different universe.
An absolutely rough 41. Is that definitely right though? Because 29, he has to be older than that. Because 29 is when he dies, and this outbreak happened. The outbreak happens in 03, right? So that's 16 years. So was he 20?
Oh, 51. No, I'm sorry. He was 51.
Okay.
Which makes more sense, actually.
Still a rough 51, but you have to like add in that world with all you're fighting the infected, and then just like you can't just like electricity is hard to come by, and to find a battery is like a miracle on Earth. So everything like that, you have to age everyone probably about at least 10, maybe 15 years, let alone the shit Joel did in his time. Which again, I wonder if they better not make a monster out of Joel. Like, he's like,
oh yeah,
like who are the great monsters?
Like what they're doing to the Jedi and the Acolyte. They're like, no.
I was gonna say like it's Hitler, it's Stalin, like, and then like the new guy is Joel, like Hitler, Bin Laden.
I hope not.
Joel.
I hope it's not those three.
But like, if for the people that knew what
like
happened in that Firefly hospital, he just murdered people and killed the doctor that could have saved us. So I am interested to see how that goes going forward. I don't see the Abby death scale going below 100 million anytime soon.
I really liked maybe my favorite episode or my favorite scene in this episode was the town hall where obviously Ellie wants the town to come together and go get justice. She's like, I don't want revenge. I want justice. We need to hold these people accountable. What did the world become without justice? And you get, what's the old guy's name? Did you write that down? You remember the old guy's name?
Seth
Who
the
was,
Bigot?
yeah, Seth the Bigot.
We love
Him,
we don't love Seth the Bigot, but we acknowledge
but he's coming back around. His scale has definitely gone down this week, where it's like, all right, he's a bad guy, he's got some fucking bigoted views, but he was sticking up for Ellie this week, and he actually helped her out. So I always love that as a trope, I guess, in television, video games, movies, whatever, where it's the old guy that you're like, I don't really like you, but thanks. Like, I appreciate that.
The steak sandwich was like a nice peace offering to start an
It
olive
was.
branch, and now we have him like. But the thing is, he believes that he's not just trying to do right by Ellie. He clearly believes what he's saying, and it's about us. It's about the town, and yada yada yada.
Seems like he feels bad about that night too. Like, I know it's like, does he feel bad about it? Does he not? I don't know. I get the feeling that the character actually does feel bad about that and wants to make amends with Ellie and all of that. And you get a lot of fallout, using that word a lot this week, of the Ellie and Dina kiss on New Year's Eve. They have their first like conversation about that, where they talk about it, and it's a little more like, it's tough for Ellie, because it's like, are they not gonna? I have a feeling they're not gonna. I don't know.
I don't know how that's gonna go. I think it's gonna get stronger. But
Dina's cracking the door open for Ellie for sure, and it's like, but are you fully like? I don't know.
I didn't know if that was some sort of youth slang you were talking about, cracking the door open. I didn't know what you were talking about.
No, it's just she's leaving the possibility for, I don't know. She's like, well, it wasn't that bad a kiss, right? Like, she's getting concerned about that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know.
You don't want to hear you're a 6 at smooching. No one wants to hear they're a 6 at basically.
No.
Either give me like a 4 and say I fucking stink, or give me like a 7, 7.5 and say, all right, you're above the men. Like 6 is technically failing, right? 65 was passing in school.
Yeah. But Ellie in her mind must be like, if I give her an 8, it must be like, whoa, chill out. That wasn't an 8. I was drunk. Like, yeah, tough for Ellie. But again, I've seen Bella Ramsey getting so much hate. Just, it's crazy every week, in and out. People are just not accepting that she is playing Ellie in the show. I thought the scene where she reads her letter at the town hall, and she doesn't have a lot of confidence. Like, she's a very confident character, but in that moment, she keeps looking down and reading from the script. It felt so real to me. It felt like that's how a girl her age would present to a town. And when you're trying to get these votes and trying to get everything passed, I also like that immediately, when she doesn't get it, like, all right, so she's going to go on her own. And then Dina knocks on the door and she's like, come on. Like, I know you don't have a plan in there. Essentially, like, you need a plan. I'll make the plan for you. Let's go fucking do this.
It's like, listen, we just buried all these people. You're probably going to bury at least me and whoever comes with me, but I'm going on my own at some point. Like,
yeah,
you can send 16 of your best, or you can send me and whoever's nice enough to join me, and we're going to see where this goes. Because as soon as I said to him, I was like, she's going. It's happening. Yeah. 8-3 vote. I hope Bosco doesn't watch, because he's probably going to be having fucking flashbacks of surviving Barstool. Yeah. He was watching his that little pool ball game at 3 a.m. the other night because he couldn't sleep. Like, he is deep down in the vote rabbit hole. And our boy Seth the Bigot. Our boy Seth the Bigot let it fly. I really do appreciate how much he let it fly there. That was great.
He let it fly, and then even the scene where Dina makes she alludes to, like, oh, I have someone that's going to help us. And I thought in my mind, I was like, it's going to be Seth the Bigot, right? He's the only other one that stood up for her at the fucking meeting and everything. And then he does help.
I like that was nice.
Yes. And he's like, come on, this is better than yours. He's like, I've played this game before. This gun has fucking 5+ more damage or whatever. I liked this scene that it was a quick exchange, but when Tommy just tells her, like, hey, just so you know, I buried Joel's body here. This is where we bury the dead if you want to visit on the way to Seattle they're going to, right? Yeah. I liked that. I liked her coming up on the grave and seeing the tombstone and everything. Like, I'm still in denial, but it gives you a little bit of closure.
The coffee beans, I remember he liked coffee, but I was like,
yeah,
I don't know in the game if they harp on it more. They do mention it in the show, so I was like, huh. Like,
I think he was drinking it in his first scene this season, right? When Dina comes to him, might not be his first scene this season, but when Dina comes to him and is talking to him about Ellie, I think he's sitting there sipping coffee as he's fixing whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I did think, like, it's not easy to get coffee in this world. It's not going to get easy to get anything in this world. And people who are addicted to coffee, they need their fucking coffee. So that one did resonate with me. I thought the toughest scene was by far when Ellie goes into his house and it's empty and she sees everything.
Yeah.
And then once she goes into the jacket, and I was like, oh no. And I mean, if you ever lost anyone, you've been there before, and it's a fucking tough place. And if that one fucked me up, the most was when she was with his jacket. You know, that was. Whoa. And
I like her taking the gun though.
Did she leave the watch?
I think she did. She.
I hope the watch is used as a plot device more. That's my favorite plot device.
I was thinking maybe she would wear the watch now, but now she's got the gun, and I like that exchange. You're gonna kill her with that gun? She's like, mm-hmm.
Two sides of Joel, right? That's the watch is his humanity, and the gun is kind of once his humanity was taken from him.
That's good.
Dual of man right there.
Analysis, yeah. we're putting the breakdown this week. Was there anything else Last of Us wise that we didn't touch on that we have to touch on? I know it was kind of a shorter recap if you count the last 10 minutes we've talked about it, but there wasn't a lot to pull apart from this episode and dissect necessarily.
I mentioned this, I believe, in episode 1. I don't know if I was as strong about it. Gail, the psychiatrist, pure hate.
Oh yeah, that scene was come on. Like Ellie seemed like she was actually like handling things pretty well. And the psychiatrist is being like, no, actually, you're not handling that well. Ellie's like, I don't know, I'm fucking sad. He died. I was very close to him. Like, she has a normal, rational response to it all.
I hope we get some more, I don't know if it's closure or just more light shed on Eugene. So then we could obviously figure out more about him. Because I do think that's going to be, she obviously, does not like Joel and then in turn Ellie because of what happened to her husband. And I understand where she's coming from, but it's like, listen, I'm an Ellie guy. I was a Joel guy. I'm fucking riding for these people. Fuck you, Gail. Fuck you, goddamn bitch. The 2003 Tigers taking a ricochet shot.
Oh, yeah.
How much they fucking sucked. And as someone that has watched 2 years of T-ball and is about to have his first year of Pony League, I am ready for about the same level of quality of baseball. You just realize how bad. In my mind, every year of my little league was quality baseball. And now looking back, it must have been so bad. So God bless
the amount of wild pitches. Yeah.
The parents, the coaches, anyone that goes to the games just to like support the kids. God bless every single one. Even the umpires who were making money on it. God bless every single one of you. The cookies that Gina made Ellie looked awesome, which I don't know how
did look really good.
They did, right? They looked really good. I don't know how else we can make stuff that they like with the technology and probably the stuff they have, but maybe it's like all the fake shit is gone and you're just getting
true
cookies, right?
Yeah.
Question: does Shimmer just sit in the fucking rain when they're getting dumped on?
Yeah,
they didn't like that. I don't know if
horses weird.
Can just handle the rain, but that felt wrong. Like maybe they find a tree or like a rock or something where it's covering the horse.
I was gonna say, how do you not have like a poncho for the horse? But they might be bigger things, bigger fish to fry than horse ponchos in this world, I guess.
The Jungle Crew with the people with like the little things on their like faces felt like
that was
again.
So we forgot to talk about that. That is worth talking about. Yeah, they have the Joker scars almost on their face. And there's that scene with them in the fars, and then you come up on the bodies later on. I mean, I know we were teased with maybe there's an even worse faction than the people we know about. I have a feeling it's this faction. It feels like it's going to be these fucking crazy cultists.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when you have cults and kids are getting involved, you get kind of scared, but then they're just all fucking murdered. So you're like, those people are worse. Again, it felt very Thronesy. It felt like I was some crazy Thrones religious fanatics. And Bob, like if we started a cult, tell me we wouldn't have like the Joker scars would be like we mentioned Dark Knight.
It'd be something Dark Knight. Like we talked about how Ralph Cifaretto's hair, he based on Christopher Nolan's hair in The Sopranos. He's like, make me a wig that looks like Christopher Nolan. Maybe that would be our cult thing. Like you need Nolan hair.
And Ledger scars. And my last takeaway was there are a lot of wolves in Seattle, and I thought we were going in and we were just gonna pick off a couple of like crazy kids, and no, there are
they have a mini army.
Yeah, I don't know if mini is even necessary. It might be a legitimate for that world. That is just an army. For now, for the current world, mini army, 2029 post-infected world army, capital A.
Yeah. That was The Last of Us episode 3. So I guess, next week when we watch episode 4, we'll be more than halfway through the season. I got asked by, I think it was Basement Memes, our guy Basement Memes, during my stream yesterday. He said, are you more excited for the rest of Andor or the rest of Last of Us? And I said, I think I'm more excited for the rest of Andor because The Last of Us has been better so far, in my opinion. But it feels like the best is still yet to come with Andor. So I'm maybe more excited. It's also a personal taste thing. I'm more excited for anything Star Wars than anything else. But both shows I'm excited for the culmination of this season, being halfway through now.
I feel like we had our moment in Last of Us. And honestly, that would say a 10 in terms of, oh, fuck. I don't know if we're even going to get higher than a 7. I could be dead wrong.
I don't know if you can. I'd be okay with it.
I want to be wrong. I kind of want to be right.
Like,
I just want, like,
yeah,
killing, like, stinking fucking, like, camping. And we're just killing a few wolves and going home. I feel like we're going to get bad shit that's going to happen, though. But yeah, Andor. But I also feel like Andor needs that moment because
it does, which we'll get into
this season. Yes, we'll get into that.
Let's tell everyone about DraftKings. First Derby week is here. Gentlemen, suit up in your sharpest. Ladies, let those wide-brimmed hats turn heads. The race is on, but who will rise above the rest and be crowned king of the track? Find out on DK Horse, the #1 downloaded horse betting app. I used to love sitting with my Uncle Joe watching horse races. It's actually his birthday this week. Rest in peace, Uncle Joe up in heaven.
Joe Dalabella?
No. Fox. Well, not a fox. He wasn't a fox, but Fox side of the family.
Fox adjacent.
Yes. DraftKings is turning up the thrill with King of the Track promotion. Here's how to get in. Head up to the DK Horse app, opt in, and bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby. If your pick crosses the finish line first, you'll win a share of a $1 million prize pool. Who will reign supreme? Download the DK Horse Racing app and use code BASEMENT. That's code BASEMENT. On DK Horse, bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby for your shot at a piece of $1 million. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. That's fun stuff. Derby week, always fun, seeing the outfits, seeing the crazy stuff, seeing upsets, seeing a Cinderella story. Shout out DraftKings.
Shout out DraftKings. And Shimmer's a big fan of this.
True.
Stuff.
Yeah, we talked horse. 2 seconds ago. I know if it rains in the Kentucky Derby, they'll have ponchos for those horses.
We're talking ponies in the basement. Who would have thought? It all comes together.
Now, let me pull up my notes. I have my notes on my phone because I got home late last night. Lady Fox was not all the way caught up on Andor. So I had to go back to episode 2 and I watched 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I watched 6 this morning. Overall thoughts before we get into some of the notes and stuff. I thought these 3 episodes were better than last week's 3 episodes. I was more of a fan of the spy espionage vibes that these had. I still think it felt a little slow. And I know Andor is the slow, methodical show. But maybe now that we're halfway done with the season, I'm not judging the whole season yet. I know it could completely change with the next 6 episodes. But the first half of this season feels just a step below the first half of last season in my mind. And I know last season, again, we had 3 that were kind of slow getting us into the story. The next 3 we got were like the heist with Cousin, and we got introduced to Vel, and it was the fucking crazy, firework, crazy light speed show, whatever it was. How do you feel about Andor through 6 episodes?
So that was like 3 through 5.
I think so, yeah.
I'd say season 1 now has the lead on season 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
And still season 2 is still good. I'm not trying to knock it down.
I'm fine with it. The thing is with this is the way the show is, I can just acknowledge or live with, again, I'm slow, I'm sipping slowly. Can't be chugging it. It's not gonna taste great. So a lot of times it is what it is. I'm giving them a fair shot. I will say, if this was a weekly show and after 5 weeks I had gotten 1 episode a week, that would have been, I think, too slow of a drip. So I think the way,
you might be right.
I think the release actually benefits them. Because again, you're not getting 50, it looks like 58 minutes episodes. It's like 45 when you add in the stuff in the beginning you can skip and then the credits at the end. So it's really, I kind of go back, I get a little bit done. I'm watching a very, very slow burn Star Wars movie that is obviously very heady, a lot of political, whatever dealings. So I would say season 1 has the clear lead. I would say this is also when season 1 hit the fucking afterburners. And I don't know if this has it in it. I hope it does, but I wouldn't have thought season 1 had it in it at that point either. Cause that kind of came out of nowhere. Like, holy shit. That's when we were like, hey, this is all right. This is a masterpiece. One of the best Star Wars things I've ever seen. But that's kind of feel. I also say though, it's crazy as it sounds, like the one thing that kind of got me the most jazzed up for this was when I opened up Disney Plus and the lightsaber on the Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're going all out for Andor here. We're throwing a little lightsaber. So
I like that too.
Probably the best move they've done.
And make no mistake about it, I love Andor, and I am loving season 2. Like, I would use the capital L, love, on this. But I'm trying to be more rational. I'm trying to be less prone to hyperbole, which I know we're all looking for the guy that's grading on a curve in the basement. We're all trying to find him. But I'm trying to be rational. And if I'm just comparing it to season 1, which I think is a fair comparison to compare it to its own show, yeah, this just felt just a step below. But again, season 1 I thought was a masterpiece. So a step below a masterpiece is still a very good, complex Star Wars show with so many layers. And it's a show that you got to kind of put your phone down for. It's like you got to lock in and remember who all the members of the rebellion are. I love the way they've been showing the rebellion fractured and fighting with each other and not really a cohesive unit yet, because no rebellions are at this early stage of the game. Do you want to just get into the episodes? I have a bunch of random notes about them all. The Bix Nightmare to kick off this one, I thought was a good way to kick off the arc, because every arc we skip forward a year. And I also kind of like that too. Like every week coming in being like, what happened in the last year? Like we're coming to these characters at random moments. Almost felt like the original trilogy does. And that like, there's some time between all the movies and we don't really know the adventures that go on between them.
I like that comparison to the original trilogy, because as I've gotten older, you notice how they write stuff into shows when there is a time jump, just to let you know. So we are picking, you're picking up pieces every single week and putting the puzzle together and trying to figure out what's going on. By the way, I think we've talked about this on the pod. Are you a pro puzzle guy or anti puzzle guy?
Pro puzzle guy. I like puzzles.
Big anti puzzle guy here. I am Lego, anti puzzle, stuff that can be together. Like, just buy the picture. Just buy the action together. I don't need to buy my app. I don't need
puzzle family, the Fox family. The Fox family, huge puzzle family we are. So like down the shore, if we'll always bring a puzzle down the shore, like when we go to the Jersey Shore for a week, you bring a puzzle for the one rainy day that you get. We would all stand and do the puzzle together. So yeah, I'm a big puzzle guy. I like puzzles.
I'm at the point where my family's becoming a big puzzle family, and I'm just dad doesn't do puzzles, and he's downstairs. It's like a little bit like he's a little grumpy, but it's like you're not going to want him up here. He does not enjoy what he's doing. So I just had to let that one off the chest on the pot. I'm sure there's people who are going to be very upset with me. I'm sure there's people who agree with me. There's both sides of the puzzle, light side and dark side of the world. But yeah, that scene too, I was like, oh fuck. And by the way, every single time the word Bix is said on screen, I want you guys to know I say Bubba Bix every single time.
So I have my next note is Gorman is Star Wars Australia. I wrote it looks sick. Except for the spiders. I can't get over the spiders. I don't even know if I mentioned them last week when they showed that little infomercial. And I was like, oh, Jesus, fucking spiders again. And now we're on Gorman, and the spiders are such a fucking big part of the thing. I have a couple notes. I mean, skipping ahead. I had a note where is this? I said, about the spiders in particular, I said, I don't care if the rebellion I wouldn't buy a spider if the rebellion depended on it. You cannot give me, there's a little note in this a hairy spider. You can see the hairs coming off them. They look as creepy as I could ever imagine a spider looking.
That's like a Family Guy scene where it's like Robbie Fox goes up. It's like, dude, take this spider. The well-being of the entire galaxy depends on you. Like, no, I'm good.
No.
And then just Alderaan blows up because Bob didn't want it. Now, are those real spiders that they stuff, or is it like do they make
I
spiders.
thought so.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was like a taxidermy type thing.
I can see either way, for sure.
And they've got a real name. They were like spiders or web weavers. And then they're like, no, they're gorillian fucking arachnopod. It's got a fucking real name.
When I saw the title of the episode was Ever Been to Gorman, I wrote, oh, fuck. Now, luckily, we haven't had it all collapse. It's collapsed. I'll tell you right now, Gorman ain't going to be in a good place in episode 7 when we see the 1 year later.
No. And that was another thing is you're watching this show and you're like, I know the ending for Andor. And it's a happy ending, but it's not. It's like, it's the sunrise that he never gets to see. It's that for him. So I wrote like the scene, Diego Luna is so good. The scene where he's fighting with Bix though, and they're going back and forth in the apartment and they're getting mad at each other. It's just heartbreaking to watch because you know these two don't have a happy ending. It's not they live happily ever after. It's like, yeah, we know it's gonna go poorly, and hopefully things turn up good for Bix, but it doesn't feel like the kind of show where they're gonna give Bix a happy ending.
No, it's I mean, it's like what is going to happen to the characters that are not in Rogue One, and the characters who make it there are going to sacrifice everything because those characters didn't make it there. They're basically doing it for the ones that couldn't make it there. Speaking of Gorman, love the chest clap.
The chest clap is good. I like that too. It feels like they have their own like culture, like the planet. And I know it's like French. I think they're just speaking French in this. Maybe it's a varied version of French. I don't know. It sounded like French to me, but everything about Gorman felt like a unique Star Wars planet that we can now add to the Wikipedia if it wasn't on there already. And it's just different. It's another nice planet that doesn't feel like a Scarif nice planet or a Naboo nice planet. It's just different. We see a Star Wars hotel. There's a Star Wars hotel in Star Wars, which is nice. Kind of just a regular hotel. There's a bellhop, a check-in. Yeah, very normal hotel. We got a schedule. A couple of them dropped in these 3 episodes, but I made a note of it right away. We love that schedule. It took us by surprise, Andor season 1. And then you watch the original trilogy back and I'm like, oh, there was a couple fucking schedules in the original trilogy as well. Serial to the light side. We're starting to drag our boy Serial to the light side, which I like this whole narrative. And this is one of the layered fucking, he planted a thing. Did he plant the thing? Did he know it was planted for him? And now he's acting like he didn't plant it. Now he's acting like he was upset. His fucking head must be all over the place. Also concerned about his mom and Dedra at all times. But yeah, the Serial stuff in these 3 episodes is good. And I know I'm calling him Serial. That's our thing. I'm not saying it wrong. I'm saying it right.
I thought you were saying he had cereal when he went to visit his mom, which was my big note. I was like, the blue milk was out and he was eating the cereal. And I feel like everyone's done this. When you're living on your own, you're just living your life, whatever. But when you go home, there's like a certain dishes, obviously like mom's spaghetti or whatever it may be. You want that. But even like kind of like the cereals, like you're just going back to when you were a kid, 10 years earlier, living at the house or whatever. And you're just going back to what worked. At one point I was like, all right, he's setting them up. Then I'm like, wait, is he doing the right thing? Is he doing the wrong thing? Is he the one who's really lighting them all up? So I did like how you were kind of going back and forth in the beginning.
I'm picturing Clem in your basement, just like pointing the fingers like The Office, but it's at yourself. You're like,
yeah,
me?
Not so.
I loved the montage of Mon going over and like campaigning for votes with other senators. I was like, oh, that's like a fucking tactile politician trying to do something for the rebellion, kind of public facing. She's going back and forth. And I love, she's like walking next to the most ridiculous looking aliens in the world, having the most serious conversation you could have.
I thought in that one scene where she's on the hallway and it's her, a ridiculous alien, then another ridiculous alien, then another human. I thought she was the one on the right, the human on the right. And she was next to one of the ones we've seen before where it has like the curved head or whatever. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, she's talking to this guy. I was like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen one of those guys before. So it is always fun. I've never seen those in Star Wars. You might have seen them in the cartoons or any expanded universe shit. But that's just how like seeing the political side and how she has to like say stuff without saying stuff too.
Yeah.
To like really leak how much she is involved. I thought that was cool.
That was good. I love a good Lonnie and Luthen scene. We got our first Lonnie Luthen scene of the season in this one, kind of in a similar place to where they did that monologue. It wasn't like on the high rise or anything, but dark room. He's given Luthen information, obviously. The Gorman Town Hall scene was good when Serial shows up to that and is watching everything from their point of view. The Tarkin massacre sounds fucking gnarly, huh? That was a big one. When you're throwing around Tarkin's name, head pokes up a little bit, and then you talk about this massacre in the center of the town.
Your rebel friends. I honestly, I forgot to bring it up on the bracket. I thought Grand Moff Tarkin got snubbed out of the best name
That's
draft.
a fucking good name. That is a good name.
Lando Calrissian at that. I guess maybe Ken Jack didn't want to talk.
It wasn't
Vader.
It was our draft, the bracket, as a little preview. It was more funny names than it was awesome names. You know, it was like, I mean, Luke Skywalker is almost as cool of a name as you could come up with. But yeah, we did the more Max Rebo and the Jizz Whalers type names.
Yes. You said it too with the Gormans having like that culture, the till the end or whatever, where he does like the thing. I was like, man, it feels lived. The planets feel lived in. The culture feels lived in. That one guy, mark my words.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah,
he's fired up.
One of my notes just says tubes. When I saw two tubes, our guy, I said also Saw's unhinged, and I like seeing him like we saw him last season, where he's not all fucking robot arm, peg leg, mask. He's like a little bit more fresh, a little younger, a little sprier.
He has been humping Rhino this whole fucking time or whatever.
Oh my God. That was crazy. We'll talk about that as well. But the end of episode 1 of this arc, it was episode 4 of the season. Bix doing drugs. Damn. Sad to watch.
So I see her do the drops, right? She puts drops in her mouth. And I go, oh, fuck, that's right. Drops is like a Star Wars drug. I never knew that. Then I'm like, wait, am I thinking of Batman? Is Batman drops? But he does eye drops.
Those are eye drops. I think those are eye drops, yeah. But they call those the drops. The main drug in the Reeves universe is the drops.
Okay. Now, in Star Wars, are these drugs known about? Have you known about them? I know Wikipedia might have a 3,000.
I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, Wikipedia, maybe. It didn't come to mind right away for me where it's like, oh, they're doing those drugs. Like, I know, like, cigarettes, they have death sticks or whatever they mentioned.
Spice, right? We know
Spice, of course, yeah. Okay. But no, I didn't know that the tincture was a Star Wars drug, but it looks Star Warsy, just a blue tincture. He did it. And I got to say, my note at the end of episode 4 was, damn, Bix doing drugs. And then my note towards the end of episode 6, I think, was, Bix makes those drugs look kind of good.
From a certain point of view with drugs, right? There's always a certain point of view you can hit on that Obi-Wan style.
Before we go further into our Andor recap, let me tell everyone about a new sponsor, and this is such a good one, Clem. This is a great one because we're going to help you have the best gift for your mom here in My Mom's Basement. The number one thing your mom wants is for you to call her. This Mother's Day, you could give her a call, of course, and give her an Aura digital picture frame. Okay, so picture frames that you upload photos to from your phone, you can send them to the picture frame, deliver your mom or give your mom the picture frame with all the pictures preloaded, and then tell her you could add any of your favorite pictures to this. It's amazing. It was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides last year. I didn't even know they made that many gift guides, but all of them say you need this Aura digital frame. So the next time you need to call your mom, you could also send her a picture of something from that trip you're telling her all about right from your phone. You could say, I was just over in Las Vegas with my brother and my nephew for WrestleMania, Mom. How about this? I got pictures on your frame already. Just look in the living room right next to the TV. And my mom does have one of these and she loves it. Absolutely loves it. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting AURAFRAMES.com, AURAFRAMES.com, to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURAFRAMES.com, promo code Mom's Basement. All one word, Mom's Basement. No apostrophe, MOMS, Basement. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Great gift. Everyone loves a digital photo frame.
So I was in on the digital photo frames when they first came out. You know, Mephostolis is like probably 15 years ago. You had digital cameras to then get it on. And you had to upload everything individually, and it was from one to the other. You had to find all your pictures. Absolute nightmare. If I try to do it with my mom now, forget it. But the fact you can do it, and listen, there's 2 sets of moms here. There's the Bob Fox moms, And then there's, well, I guess there's three kinds of mothers. The Bob Fox moms. There's my wife, the mom, and then there's my wife, my mom, who's a little older than Bob Fox's mom. And I imagine Bob Fox's mom is similar to my mom. They don't know what they're doing with technology. So the fact we can take that step out of their hands, and it's almost like a gift every time you upload some fresh stuff on there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I love this idea. I love this idea so much.
I might upload some fucking pictures of Diego Luna onto my mom's frame just to be like, isn't this guy fucking cool?
I can see KFC. She has a crush on Starling Marte on the Mets. I can see like Kevin goes over. He's like, Mom, where are all the kids? It's just Starling Marte pictures.
So episode 5, my first note was Frankenstein looking motherfucker. I don't even remember the context for him, but I remember he walked out and he looked like a pink Frankenstein. And I just wrote Frankenstein looking motherfucker.
Oh, he was.
I don't really remember, but
I thought he was going to play a bigger role than he did. Yeah, when they unveiled that dude, Frankenstein looking motherfucker. Yeah, he kind of looked like it was almost like a little bit of vampire in him too.
Yeah,
like Blueberry and Count Chocula had a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, is it Blueberry? No, Frankenberry.
And isn't there a Boo though?
There is a Blueberry as well. He is.
I liked the scene where Andor's getting all of his information for his mission through an earpiece. He's walking through and you just hear, you're a fashion designer. Your name is fucking, I wrote down the name as well and I forgot it already.
Valerian Sky.
Yes.
I wrote it down. I don't know if I wrote it down correctly. Elite's name. Another elite.
Such a good name. Such a cool name. And the next episode, he comes back to Bix and he's like, you should have seen me, buddy. Fucking Valerian fucking Sky. He was like, they were doing a little role playing. I felt like uncomfortable. Like I shouldn't be in the room for this.
Bob, get the bonk out. When she told him he better bring him home and she did like, it might have been a little bite on him. I'm like, God damn, Andor. I tried.
Bix.
Bonk.
The bellhop telling Andor about the massacre was a good scene, and I liked getting that information from someone that was a kid during and everything. But I gotta say, the bellhop creepy for some reason. I don't know if it was just the actor. I don't know if it was just the face. I don't know if it was his eyes. He had a little bit of butthole eyes. The bellhop just creeped me out a little bit. No disrespect, of course.
So this is my take. I don't think I'm a fan, and I don't want to offend the people who are bellhops that are listening, but it's like a forced service. Now, if they carry your stuff to your room, whatever, tip, whatever. But it seems like it's like always like they're just acting like your friend just to get the money, or they're not just doing it. And that was and it also goes back to I have never liked Rob Schneider. I like a lot of those people from that SNL era. I just do not like Rob Schneider. He plays the bellhop in Home Alone 2. I saw this guy as Rob Schneider. This guy,
I think that's what made me maybe not like bellhops. I was like, Home Alone 2. I'm out on that fucking bellhop.
Fingers on him, and he gets the dumb. Yeah, it could definitely do that to you.
And again, if we've got any bellhop listeners, this is not about you, sorry, but you know what that is for me? You ever walk into a fancy bathroom and there's the bathroom attendant in there? That's the worst, because it's like, do I tip this person? Are they going to be mad at me if I don't tip? Like, I could grab the towel myself, like from the paper towel dispenser. Usually they'll grab the towel and hand it to you. It's just like, thank you. Isn't that awkward? We need to, I don't want to do away with jobs. I'm not trying to do away with American jobs, but we need to do away with the bathroom attendants. We don't need bathroom attendants.
Got to get them in the factories. We're going to bring all the manufacturing back to America and get those fuckers in the factories, because to do that to someone in the bathroom, you're basically cornering somebody. And I don't think there's anybody who's like, yes, that's, unless you like need friends, let's be honest. I don't like that guy. I can get the towel. Now, if you take the breath mint, you got to tip. You got to.
I know you do. Yeah.
If he has like a like reusable towel, like a nice one, and then he like throws in a laundry bin. If you want to dry your hands on the nice stuff, got to do that. But yeah, if I'm just using the paper towels, and like, I do not like being forced. Now, if I come in a bunch, you guys help me out a bunch, you're gonna have to tip at some point. If you got a leaky bladder that day, your Tommy smokes, you're gonna have to help the guy. If
I blow up the bathroom, if I make it smell bad in there, you're getting a nice tip.
I mean, and like, it's not on the same level, but it's when the homeless guy opens the door for you at like 7-Eleven.
Like, or they start squeegeeing your car. Yeah. Like, I didn't ask for this. Oh no, now I'm in this spot. Yeah.
And there's a difference between that and other people in the service industry, to be clear.
Totally.
But you're kind of pouring me in the bathroom. I most need like the premium bathroom with the guy who's there, and then give me the fucking poor people bathroom where I can just piss, wash my hands, and fucking dry everything myself.
I have a all caps note that just says, "Enough with the spiders." I was fed up with the spiders. Awesome monologue when Cassian meets up with the daughter of the guy he's supposed to meet, the bad with names, Scolded's daughter,
crew.
was it? Or he meets up with the fucking Gorman crew, and they're like, "Oh, are you who you're supposed to be?" And he's like, he gives that monologue where he's like, "What if I was an IPS officer? I am who you want me to be, but just because you're lucky, you need to be better at this." And he's fucking going off on her. Good monologue from Diego Luna there.
Like, so the show's called Andor, and obviously we have a very big affection to our boy Cassian. There's a lot of times where it doesn't feel like his show. It felt like his show in that moment. I'm like, yeah motherfucker, that's the guy right there.
I think that's why I like these three more than the last three. And I've said like Mon Mothma might be the most interesting part of the show, but it is Andor after all. And these three felt more Andor focused than the last three did to me.
And I do think that we're almost supposed to feel like Gorman, they're kind of rushing it. And it's like, hey, it's easy to say these people don't know what they're doing. These people are in the shit right now, and it's even going to get a lot shittier again by the next episode. So you kind of feel their plight like that. We're using the word plight. That's the first time anyone's ever used plight on a Barstool podcast in the history of the company. But it's tough, man. It's tough, and you're just like, listen to this fucking. This guy got Bix. Come on.
There's more unhinged Saw Gerrera shit where he's ready to fucking kill the new engineer right away. And then it's a fucking back and forth. And again, we have a lot of like double cross. Is it a double cross? Are they doing it for the right reasons? Are they doing it for the wrong reasons? Are they dispatching information? Are they dispatching good information? And then he makes Willman fucking take his mask off. It was like one of those videos where you see someone hit like an insane dab rig bong and then they just can't breathe. He's like, he's making noises that are barely even coughs. Saw Gerrera, he's just fucking, he's unhinged.
I forgot this. When I first saw him, all right, be honest. I know you're all into the rebellion. You're a diehard guy. Did you laugh a little when you heard his voice the first time?
Oh, of course. Yeah, because it's so like exasperated. Oh, the rebellion. Everything like trails off as he's saying it, you know?
And hey, when he had that line, like, we're going to be huffing the fuck out of this shit on our little island. They're not going to near us. I was like, I'm ready to ride for you, so I can understand why you're that dude. But there's also times
I would not ride for Saw. This is one takeaway where I was like, I'm a rebellion guy through and through. I've got the fucking wallets on my desk. I've got the rebel wallet and everything. If Saw were the one to try to recruit me, I might be an Empire guy. Like, he's so insane, and you almost feel like you can't trust him. It's like the evil you know versus the evil you don't know. At least I know what the Empire is. Saw, like, he might shoot me just because he feels the wrong way waking up.
And I think therein lies the fucking problem with rebellions in general, because you don't really have a choice about who you're pals with, because it's like you're this ragtag group. You kind of need every single person and power player you can get, and you're going to have these crazy fucks like Saw, who's out there talking like this and huffing and puffing whatever he can. Meanwhile, every single Imperial officer is like bleached clean, fucking, just mission at hand. Let's fucking ruin lives, and it doesn't matter for our higher ups and to advance our lives and our career. And that's why it's such a fucking battle to get up to where they were. I also don't understand what this radonium is. Like, is that fuel? Is that what we're getting with fuel here?
I think so, but he said like we'll be up with our radonium. It's almost like spice. Maybe they just use these words where it's like it could mean fuel, it could mean drugs, it could mean fucking this, it could mean that. It's a little bit of everything. Maybe you got it.
Rhodium was a metal used as armor and weapon metal plating material. It's rhodium, right? He's talking rhodium. Is that the word?
I think so.
Oh, rhydonium.
Rhydonium was it? Yeah, that was it.
It's a volatile starship fuel, so I did have that. Highly explosive, dangerous to salvage.
And well, we see they're doing the explosive shit with the fucking. They're doing that. The progresses. They're spinning it. It almost looks like one of those things you put the checks in at the bank. Looks like one of those fucking tubes. Speaking of tubes, I loved the entire Luthen and the girl in his shop, the storyline, them going back and forth, the panic around this bugged item of like, oh, fuck. we might have to fucking take that bug off the item and whatever. We need to get a bug on this one. That was all cool. Varian Sky, I think was the name. I think it was Varian Sky.
Varian Sky. Yep, that's it.
Loved that scene. Coruscant looks great. The fucking CGI in this show holds up so well, where there's never a moment where I'm taken out of this show because of CG. It just feels very immersive through and through. I like Mon's cousin Vel getting back in the mix more in this arc. I really like her character. She's got, I think, maybe the best monologue in these 3 episodes, when her partner's shot with a ricochet shot, and it's like, oh fuck. And then she fucking yells in that guy's face, "This is on you. This is your skin. She was everything you ever wanted to be." Like, that was piercing. That was cutting.
They will mourn her in ways you can't even fathom. You fucking, I think you're gonna say she's great. She's a great resting bitch face. She has an all.
She does. Yeah. I like seeing the Senate again too. That was cool. Like seeing the Senate and seeing the concourse of the Senate as well.
The Galactic Senate still hits. That's what I wrote. Like,
yeah.
Again, everyone's sucking Revenge of the Sith dick these days. I understand you guys have your fun. There's definitely flaws in that movie. My opinion is there's flaws in the movie. We'll just leave it at that. But
from a certain point of view,
there's a it's the Rise of the Galactic Empire. You know, like it fucking takes your breath away when you see that thing, even when it's in these darker times and it's not as pronounced. The scene, it fucking hits, and even what's her name, Mon, just like leaving, being like, oh, and she's like gripping the shit because she's trying to get a hand on everything. Now, do you want to talk about what I imagine? The depths, the Wikipedia message boards. There is probably a rising going on. I'm sure there'll be a Jerry Thornton blog about it tomorrow from the angry Star Wars fans about what they did today.
The recast? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
So we got to talk about this. They recast Bail Organa, who is Jimmy Smits, obviously. And I would say, as far as prequel characters go, Jimmy Smits is one of the more associated with his character actors that they have. It's a tough one to recast. And do you have the name of the guy that they recast him as? Because it's another really famous guy, Benjamin.
I'll look it up.
I think it's like Benjamin Blatt
or
something
Bratt,
like that.
Benjamin Bratt.
Bratt. So the guy they recast as Bail Organa, I actually like as an actor. I just don't know how to feel about this, Clem. Like, Bail Organa is Jimmy Smits to me. And I would imagine he's going to play a bigger part in this season. Because if it was just this quick scene, you should have not had it. You should have not included it if it was like recasting or, including whatever. I'm so conflicted because I'm like, all right, in 50 years, when I'm old and I'm trying to show my grandkids Star Wars and maybe there's new stuff coming out, they're probably going to have to recast a bunch of these characters. I think they're going to recast almost everyone in 50 years. And eventually you got to break that seal. At some point, you got to draw the line and say the characters are more important than the actors. I get it. It just felt weird, dude. I didn't love it. And I'm willing to keep an open mind. And if he's a bigger part of the season and we get to see a lot of scenes between him and Mon, I'm willing to keep an open mind. Ken, Jack, and Jeff, who've seen some screeners, said he's really good in it. They're like this is a good recasting. So I'm keeping an open mind, but my gut immediate instant reaction is, yeah, I didn't love it.
So I was like, maybe it's because, Jimmy Smits is getting older and whatever. Jimmy Smits is 69, Benjamin Bratt's 61. So we only cut 8 years out there.
Jimmy Smits was just an Obi-Wan too.
That makes it a little weirder. It definitely makes it a little
weirder. He's played him in Rogue One, Obi-Wan, the prequels. Like, he's played the character across so many mediums. I think he did the voice in the animated shows as well. Like, just tough. I love Jimmy Smits too. I'm a Jimmy Smits guy.
It almost, you know what it's like? It's like when you play a video game and the video game doesn't look like the character from the movie because they couldn't get the rights or whatever. And he just looks like, I know that I got the Guardians game and the voices are different. And obviously the characters look different until you're just like, you're not Groot. You're not Rocket.
It doesn't, but to use that as an example, people love that game. It's like, all right, maybe if you spend a little bit more time with the character and let it sink in, and maybe we could gloss over that. I'm keeping an open mind about it because I would imagine if you're bringing Bail Organa in, I mean, he's such a massive part of the rebellion in general. probably for good reason. They probably got good shit planned with them.
I was going to say, do we know why? Oh, here, why Bella Organa was recast in Andor season 2? I should have done this research beforehand.
It could have been Dexter. I was thinking like Jimmy Smits is in Dexter, and I know Dexter Resurrections is filming right now. That was what first came to mind for me.
Yeah, that's what Gilroy said, scheduling conflict. So, again, I guess it has to be a big enough part where they needed to have Bale. Do you go back to Smits, though, down the road?
Yeah, probably. Like, if he wants to come, I mean, if he wants to come back, you said he's 69 years old. How many more projects is it going to be like, hey, we need Bale, call up Jimmy? Like, I don't know. But yeah, if he's around, you give him first dibs, I think.
And the other side is like, I'm thinking with Marvel, like they've recast, right? We've had the crazy recastings. We had Chris Evans is Human Torch and Captain America, right? Yeah. It's ridiculous. So
they could have done a Marvel line. They could have had Mon say like, "Oh, you're looking slim" or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's like, oh, empty nesting, huh? Like Leia's out of the house. You sure have got your energy back here or something.
I loved the scene in Luthen's shop when they're showing Krennic the fucking tactile book. Our first scene where we've got Mon Mothma, Luthen Rael, and Krennic on screen together. I was like, that's fucking cool. And it wasn't like the three of them. It wasn't, it was as much going back to Lonnie in the back. And my note for that little Pulp Fiction inspired note I had, tell that bitch Lonnie to be cool. Because he wasn't being cool. He was at the fucking thing. They're trying to get the thing out. It's stuck. She's like, put your fucking hands on it. She's telling him exactly what he needs to do. He's like, oh, I'm going to go over there. Just fucking tell that bitch to be cool, Lonnie. Okay? Be cool.
Fucking cool. What's Ringo, Lonnie? What's Ringo like? When Krennic showed on screen, I started growling like a dog that like senses evil in the fucking room.
And he had the cape on with the fucking, like, it was like a fancy Krennic, he had the sash across it. It was cool, a variant outfit.
Yeah, he's wearing the like fucking royal fucking jersey for the day. Like they really, after a team wins a championship, they'll like turn their letters gold or something. He fucking brought out the Sunday best for this. What do they say? The festive evening. This is a festive evening.
Yes. And then the last note I had, just great like feel good revenge scene for Bix, torturing her torturer, putting the headphones on him, putting the fucking mouth thing on him. Don't worry, this is only going to feel like forever. And then they fucking walk out. They hit the fucking explosion on it. I thought that was just like, all right, that kind of ended this arc on like a let's go fucking kill the Empire note.
Yeah, and it's like, I think Cassian's like, we're not just doing everything by the book anymore, because I don't know. Do you feel, I think a lot of people are looking at Luthen like, he is like a 4.5 ERA right now. Like he still can get up there on the gun and he gets you the wins, but man, I feel like the old man's starting to lose it a little bit, lose his fastball. And
especially with the missions and not, splitting up partners because they're more valuable separate than together to him. It's like, I mean, they have arguments about it in the show where it's basically like Cassian's like, you can have my blood, like you can whatever, like we just need to do this. He's so determined and like laser focused to taking the Empire down. He doesn't think of like real people. It's just like your pieces in the chess game.
Yes, and he has to look at it as a chess game because that's why they've gone this far. But then that's the cool thing about shows like this is that you can see both sides, just like last time. You can see why both people act the way they act. It's not just all right. And then, like you said, where Krennic's kind of seeing one thing from his angle, and then Mon saying it from another angle. That's when the beauty of fictional shows can really hit. The badass not looking back at an explosion scene. I didn't see that coming when the episode started, and they were getting one of those in Andor in general. This I have to admit. So I watched the last 2 episodes today. I watched the first one last night. So I was I still was fresh off the like we're gonna do some Variant Sky role play. I feel like there was some big, sweaty, stinky rebel sex afterwards between Vix and
there was some implied sex with Vel and her partner.
Dedra.
It was
also Dedra.
It was like that quick scene. That too. Yeah.
Fucking light.
Yeah. They definitely do the the classic, like a kiss scene in Star Wars is a sex scene. Like they have that quote from back in the day. Kind of feels like that in Andor. Like when they start getting hot and steamy talking about role play, it's like, all right, we get it. On to the lightsabers. It's again me and my fucking X-Wing helmet. Like, what am I watching?
The scene where we have Luthen and Andor next to each other, that was like LeBron and Wade. The picture of them two.
Yeah.
And I even thought about this. Wade recruits LeBron to the Heat, the fucking evil empire there. And then Wade's the one who kind of starts losing his fastball. And that's when LeBron dips out. Now, obviously, that's not exactly what happens, but same kind of vibes. I was just happy to see them together. And there's a scene, maybe it's in Gorman. It's like there's like a dying engine goes right back to the Falcon. That sounded exactly like that. Every time I hear a dying engine,
I noticed that.
Right?
Yeah, I had another note that when they're stealing from the armory on Gorman, which apparently someone tweeted us that might have been like an allegory for the French Revolution or like the Nazis coming off after the French. I'm sure there's a lot of real world stuff that they're like commenting on and doing their own Star Wars version of. But there was that one shot where they take the big crate and they throw it down like the sewer and you follow it down the sewer and it grabs it and then they throw it on the truck. It was just a very cool shot. I think that's all I had notes wise. I think hashtag for this week. What do we think about hashtag be cool, Lonnie?
Yes, I like that.
I think it's LONNI too. I think that's how you spell Lonnie. I'm pretty sure.
Cool,
So
I dig
there
that.
you go. I mean, honestly, the more I talk through this Andor arc, the more I like it. Maybe like even talking about it just now was like fun to talk about, and there was more to get into than I even thought. So I'm still in on it. We're halfway through the season. Is it slower than last season? Definitely. Do I still have faith that they're going to pick up and have an awesome final 6 episodes? For sure. I got my faith in Tony Gilroy and the cast and crew.
You're kind of pot committed with a show like this. And again, 3 episodes a week actually does help. Because if this was week by week, I think we would be really losing our minds. Now, if fucking Khaleesi comes down and she gets Drax's arm by the end of this one, I'm going to feel like we got Secret Wars all over again with Mendelsohn. Just going to be like, guys, I don't know what to do. It's not my call. I'm not the one writing.
She gets fucking the new Buff Hut arm before the Buff Hut even gets it. We're like, where's that? That's from the new movie.
She's actually a Star Wars character too, as crazy as that.
Yeah.
Fucking Solo.
How about no more spiders for the rest of the season, though? We're probably not done with spiders, though.
Kind of hoping for spider. We're definitely getting.
No.
We're definitely going to see the Gorman spike because Gorman.
We're going to see the real one active. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to.
But maybe they'll do like an Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull thing, where I know people don't like that movie, but there's that great death scene for Cate Blanchett where the fire ants come and like swarm her by the thousands and they eat her. Like, what if the spiders eat fucking one of the Empire's lead guys? Like, that would be kind of cool. I guess.
I am interested to see who survives all this, because this is it. It's this and then Rogue One, right? For the show. So I am interested to see.
And we still got K2SO watch. He's joining the show at some point.
That's right. I'm interested to see what Imperials, get dinged up or, hit along the way. The Dedra stuff, the serial stuff. I think that's all really interesting. So, and the Gorman stuff. Like, I think back to that video or the Gormans, and they're so happy and just where it's going to be. And I want to say I am really excited to see how this all goes. But that was me. Like, when I watched the first episode of Chernobyl, we go, man, people say this show is awesome. And by the credits of episode 1, I said, I am never watching another episode of this show for the rest of my life. I didn't even see the literal fallout from Chernobyl, and I was out on it. So I'm not even going to say I'm looking forward to the fucking tragedy of Gorman or whatever they call it, the fall of Gorman. But, man, I think that has a chance to be great TV, kind of like the prison scene was and some of the shit we geeked out about in season 1. So we'll see. I'm going in with tempered expectations. I'm starting to think there's a chance we're not hitting season 1's heights. Definitely.
There's a chance. There's the arc people were most excited about, too, because this arc was written by the writer of the prison arc.
Don't love hearing that. So, Bob, I'm not going to say it's a good chance. I'm going to say it's a decent chance. See, there's other words. Decent chance we're not hitting the heights of season 1. I might be saying good chance by the end of next week. We'll see.
We'll see, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for Thunderbolts. We'll get more into the goods, the greats, the scale. I put together a little scale of where I think my goods and greats lie and stuff. I'll talk about that tomorrow on the Thunderbolts pod. But for today, be cool, Lonnie, and we'll see you to talk about Thunderbolts tomorrow.
Till then, right? Is it till then? Till then.
Till then.
Till then. This and then like going off the chest is like we have to watch. We have to watch.
Yeah.